Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So let's start the program what we developed last class. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, but the font is small. Could you please zoom in?
Yes. Is it small in the computer or it's small in the smartphone?
I'm using a computer.
Oh, then it's really small. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So some of the things that we have learned previously is like some widgets. In the last class we saw safe area. Safe area is it's a widget, but you don't see him actually. You don't see it like column, padding, center, container. There are like some of the widgets. They are called widgets, but actually you don't see them. They are like containers of other widgets. They contain or they hold other widgets. So it looks sometimes strange, like it's not visible but it's called widget. But this is the terminology of Flutter. They call everything widget. Like safe area is a widget. So it will make sure that your UI doesn't doesn't go behind like notch or some button, like physical button in the screen or so on. Okay, great. Now today what we will do, I have some issues in the list. So we will start with something called some of the Flutter commands. Oh, so someone asked at the beginning how to create emulator. So we discussed also this in the first class, that there is a button here, like you can see here, there is a button here.
I see, but in our studio, block this icon.
So when you click it, it doesn't happen anything, right?
Yeah, block.
Yeah. So yes, this is one of the issue
Mm-hmm.
that can happen actually. That's why I made this comment
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in the first class, that for some of you it may happen that if you click it, it will not show anything.
Yeah.
So I remember it's related with the Android Studio setting. Like you need to mention him that you are using like for Android development, something like this. So
Mm-hmm.
so this is a common advice. I
Okay.
I do it for a lot of my problems. Is
Okay.
when you have an issue,
Mm-hmm.
search in Google, and in
Ah,
95% case, you will find a solution in Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow.
Yeah, there is a website called Stack Overflow. Okay, let me
Mm-hmm.
show you.
Mm-hmm.
Stack Overflow.
Mm-hmm.
So
There is one warning when I start up. SDK Android emulator missing. Directory missing.
okay, like did you install recently the Android Studio? It's an old Android Studio.
I was installed from the website developer Android. It's only in Android Studio.
Okay, so so what I do normally.
Mhm,
Normally, what I do when we get these issues, like I mentioned in the first class, that
mhm,
development is very problematic. Like sometimes, like there is an update in Android Studio or there is an update in Flutter, and you start getting new issues, new errors.
mhm,
It's not from your code. It's not from your code, but because in development we use so many third-party tools like Android Studio is there, Flutter is there, Dart is there, then there are third-party packages. So the first thing that we can do is just type the problem or copy paste. If there is a message, copy paste the message on the Google, and in, as I mentioned, in 95% cases you will see that the same problem happened and there is a solution and in most cases it will be from Stack Overflow. The answer, Stack Overflow, if you don't know, it's actually one of the most hit website in the world. Stack Overflow, one of the most hit. This is a very good place for getting answers regarding the programming questions. So many, like I have benefited so many times from Stack Overflow. Like if there is a problem, just search it. Before trying to spend time, just search it in the Google. And for example, say if we type problem in what is called creating
emulator,
Android emulator in Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio, Android emulator. Say in Android Studio. You see there is an answer from directly from Android developer android.com. There is direct. This is the official Android development channel, but it will not help much about Flutter. But you can see here there are several answers from Stack Overflow. Emulator in Android Studio doesn't start. Emulator is not working. So you need to vary your search and see. And as I said, from my experience, maybe more than 95% cases you will find the answer in Stack Overflow, because people are working, so many people are working, and if you are facing the problem, there is a high possibility the same problem was faced by some other people and they asked already. Okay, so you can search your problem, and if you then don't find, then maybe you can share the screen and we can see what is happening. Okay,
thank you.
so this is very helpful actually. Like
Yeah.
Also if you need to like know some property of some widgets, sometimes in flutter.dev it's difficult to understand how to use it. For example, okay, I said that I will show you from flutter.dev. So if you go there, go to docs, documentations. Okay, documentation. Oh, so they released Flutter 3.3. So there is an upgrade. So I will show you some commands how to upgrade Flutter to the newest version from Android Studio. Some of the commands are there. Okay. Anyway, so if this is very important, the Flutter documentation, they have very good documentation. You can see here they have a lot of resources. So we want to see the user interface and some of the widgets. So like widget catalog, it shows you what are the widgets we have in Flutter. There are, you can see these are different categories, and these videos are very good. Widget of the week. These videos are very, very useful. They show how to use different widgets, and some of the widgets are so useful. Then when you know that, okay, if I had known, it would have saved a lot of time. You will feel like this. So like, for example, shared preferences is very useful. I will try to show you next week maybe how to use shared preferences to save like settings and values even if you close the app. Google Fonts, like if you want to use different colorful fonts, types of fonts. Fonts are part of our like course topic, so we will see how to use different fonts. Like navigation rail is like it's not very good for phone screen, but it's good for web and so on.
By search, thank you. By search, I found the solution.
Okay, okay.
Now I remember that I need to enable the virtual machine in my
Oh,
device. Yeah,
okay, okay, great, great.
thank you so much.
Okay, very good. So now we have the proof, huh? Already we have the proof. Anyway,
Yeah, thank you.
welcome. So as we are saying that whenever you have time while you are developing in Flutter, try to go through these widget catalog. Like sometimes you need to do something and the solution is already there. No need to do from the scratch. Especially, for example, some kind of animation, some kind of like input. Like for example, you want to input from keyboard, so it's already there. So on. So there are so many, and also Flutter supports. You know that there is a difference between Android UI style and iOS style. The apps, the buttons, the dialog boxes, they look different in iOS than than in Android. So Flutter supports both actually, and it is possible to check runtime. Are you running on Android, or are you running on iOS, or are you running on iPad, or are you running on web? And based on this, you can change your style, the widget style. For example, Cupertino. Cupertino means actually these are designed based on iOS. So these are the Cupertino widgets that are supported by Flutter, and you can see these are similar like iOS widgets. Like for example, the switch button. In Android, it doesn't look like this, but this is the iOS version. Like this is the tab bar. This one is sliding, like it goes like if you click, it will slide. So this is for like also for sliding, like sliding the value, and this is the sliding the option, like go from one tab to another tab. Like this is very common, those who are using iPhone, these widgets you see in different apps, like selecting dates, like selecting options. It comes from the down action sheet. This is very common, right? You see anytime the app is downloading or doing something, it shows you like the waiting sign. So these are also available in uh, Flutter. So try to go through the different types of UI we have in the material components. These are for Android. Android uses material components. So these are Android style UI components, widgets. Okay. So there are so many. So we cannot cover everything in a course. So what we do is, whenever you have something to implement in Flutter, first search it in Google, or search it in, or try to find in flutter.dev. And there is also another thing, another we will cover it, called packages, third party packages, which are hosted in pub.dev. Pub.dev. So this website, like it is a repository for a lot of Flutter packages, which are like an addition. Like for example, you want to check if the phone is connected to Wi-Fi or not. So you can use this package. Uh, for example, if you want to connect to online database, So for example, Firebase is one of the online database from, also Firebase is also from Google. So you can use this kind of thing. For example, like for example here, yeah, SQLite, we'll see it in towards the end of the course. This is not this package, but there is another package for a local database, so on. So if you want to do something in Flutter, first search it. In many cases, you will find the widget. Maybe already there is a widget for this, or there is a package for this that will solve your problem. Like Flutter local notification, it's a very, very useful thing, but it's very complicated to use it. We will not cover it. It will take maybe the whole week to explain how to use Flutter local notification. It's like when you open an app, it shows you a notification, a message from the app is closed, but it shows you notification. So you can use these kind of packages. Bottom navigation bar, we'll show you how to use this one. RxDart, this is for state management, but we will not RxDart. There are other easier ones. We will talk shortly towards the end of this course about state management. So this came from other programming languages, like those who are already working with Java or iOS. They have similar state management, so they exported similar concept to Flutter. So this is the puff.dev is a very good what you can say resource for knowing what kind of packages we have. Okay, so these two websites you should know always. You should know, one is the flutter.dev and the other one is puff.dev. Also there are some other good websites. For example, if you need icons, there is called Flutter Icons. Flutter Icon, yeah, Flutter Icon, yes, fluttericon.com. So in Android Studio we have a lot of icons. But sometimes they are not enough. You will not find the icon that you need. You can make icons from images. We will show you in one of the classes, inshallah, how to make icons from images, or from the Android Studio, the already available icons, material icons, or by downloading icons from this website. This is a very good website for, and it's easy to, and he remembered like what kind of icons I already downloaded. He will remember if you continue using from the same machine. So you can see so many icons are there. Some of them are repeated. You can search it. For example, listen. There is nothing. Listen. Suppose add. Yeah. So related to add, we have several. Say person. So it shows some icons related to person, and so on. So you can go and search, and sometimes you will find, sometimes you will not find. Then in that case you need to create icon from images. You can create icons from images inside the Flutter code, and inshallah we will show you how you can do, because icons are one of the most important UI component. To make it look nice, you need to use good icons. Okay, any questions from whatever we have said so far?
I have a question about something you explained before.
Yes, please.
Are the UI components for both iOS and Android? How can I tell the difference when I look at the website?
You mean from flutter.dev? How do you know which one is for Android, which one is for iOS?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Actually, all of the widgets you can use in Flutter, and they will come as it is both in iOS and Android. So there is no difference between iOS widgets, Android widgets. Okay, I'm not sure, is it clear? Okay, for example, so it is called Cupertino widgets. It doesn't mean that you cannot use it in Android version. If you use it, it will also come in your Android app. It doesn't matter. But this widget looks like the iOS style widgets, and the material widgets are similar like Android widgets. The material components, these are similar like Android widgets, but all of them, all the widgets that you see here listed here, all of them you can use in your Flutter project, and they will come as it is both in iOS and Android. And if you implement for web or Windows or Linux, in every case you need to see like for which platform it is supported. The widgets normally they are supported for all platforms, but the packages, like for example the packages here, for example, let's say, like say if I click Connectivity Plus, it will show at the top like for which platform it supports. You can see here it will list. So it supports Android, iOS, Linux, Mac, web, Windows, all of them. But because this is one of the most important package. But if we select, for example, this one, okay, it also supports all of them. It also supports one of them. It also supports all of them. Oh, so we are finding all of them are, sorry. Yeah, they are supporting all of them. Yeah, okay. So for example, this package, Flutter barcode scanner, to scan barcode, like you are making an app for like commercial company, for a store, so you want to check the barcode. But this, if you use this package, they support only Android and iOS. If you implement it for Windows, it will not work. So like this, you have to see like which platform it supports. So most of the packages, they support Android and iOS, most of them, and the most popular ones, they support all of them, like Mac, Linux, Windows, web, so on. We will spend some more time on how to use packages. It will come inshallah next week. Does it answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the first part. So let's close it. Okay. So before I go and do some more coding, like there are some commands that you can do. So in the Android Studio, the below side, you will see some of the windows are there. So if you go to terminal, you can write down Flutter codes, not codes, Flutter commands here. Okay, and you can upgrade Flutter. You can check the condition of Flutter. You can convert the app into APK or app bundle. You can convert the app into iOS, this IPA file, and so on. So all of them you can do it here. And Also, sometimes you can do it from the menu. For example, tools. Yeah, in the under tools, you go to Flutter. You can see there are several commands. Especially Flutter upgrade, Flutter doctor, Flutter pubgate, pub upgrade. Pub is the pub dot from the pub.dev. You can automatically download the packages. We'll show you inshallah how to use packages in the project, because without using packages you cannot develop applications. You actually have to use, because there are so many functionalities in packages that you have to use packages. We will show you inshallah how to use them. So these are the some of the commands. Flutter clean is sometimes useful, like sometimes you get or you upgrade the Flutter and you get so many errors. So one of the solution is to use Flutter clean. It will remove all the build files. It will clean the directories, and it will only just keep your code and settings, but it will clean the build files, and then sometimes the problem is gone. So, and you can do it from here, like Flutter doctor. Also, you can do it from here. Okay. Oh, I am not in the folder. So we are in which folder? Okay. Okay, I need to change the folders because it's very deep in the folder structure. So in this case, it's easy to do it from here. It is easy to do it from here for a doctor. Okay. So you can see here it checks for the version of Flutter, whether Android Studio is installed correctly, Android SDK is Xcode is installed or not. Chrome is needed for developing for the web, so they need Chrome. Whether Android Studio is installed in the proper path, it will ask, and it will check for connected devices, like which kind of devices you have connected and so on. So Flutter Doctor is good way to know if there is any issue in your system. Also, I will not do right now the Flutter upgrade because it will take some time and it might make trouble in my system. So I don't want to do it right now in the class, because I have faced previously a lot of troubles after upgrade. So when I am doing something serious, okay, don't do the upgrade. Do upgrade when you don't have a deadline, because a lot of times after you upgrade, there are new issues. So be careful. Okay. So this is the first thing about different commands. Okay. The next topic is, okay, let's go and try to make a drawer. Okay, let's try to make a drawer. Okay, So in many web apps, you have seen possibly that there is a menu coming from the right or from the left, right? Like there is a menu icon here, and the menu comes from the right, or from the left, depending upon your alignment. Have you seen this? I'm sure you have seen it. So how can we make it? Do you get my point? Like what we are trying to make?
Yes.
Is there a question? No. Okay. So the issue is we want to make a menu. Either you can click it here and it arrives from the right, or you click it here, it arrives from the left, depending upon Arabic or English, left to right, right to left. So this is in Flutter, it is called drawer. You know, drawer, like you have tables which has drawers. You can pull it. For example, in desk we have drawers. In for example, in wardrobes in the house where you keep your clothes, there are sometimes drawers. So you can when you pull it, it comes out. So that's why they call it drawer. So how can we add drawer in Flutter app? It's very simple, very easy. Simple and easy. It's not difficult. Actually, everything in Flutter is easy if you know it. Unless there is a bug. Sometimes there is a strange bug which takes days to fix. But they have made using widgets so simple. Okay, so how can we do it? So let's make it like this. Okay, we don't need the floating action button, so we can remove it. We don't need it. Okay, fine. So we have body, and now we want to add a drawer. Like a menu will come, which is a very useful thing. Almost every app has this. Almost every app. So if you click on the scaffold, not click, just bring your mouse over the name scaffold, you will see there is something called drawer. Yes, here. There is something called drawer, as you can see here. So you can use something called drawer. Okay. So drawer, you can see it takes a widget. It takes a widget. So let's say build drawer. So we are going to write a function to build drawer. So it will return a widget. Okay, and so it's giving a red line because we didn't return anything. So if we return, suppose, a text, my drawer, and try to, okay, it's asking for try to run it. See here, see the difference what we got?
Yes.
There is a menu came here, right? So if you click it, it came. So here, see, because we are just showing a text, so it doesn't look very good. Okay.
It dims the screen.
Yeah, because it is drawing on top of the main UI. It should be a menu, but we are not drawing or we are not building any UI. I'm just drawing a text, so you don't feel anything. So yeah, it's dimming the lower UI, and it will write or draw the widget that you return here in this part. Okay, so let's build that menu so it looks like a professional menu. So what I will do is I will copy paste from my old code to save my time. So I will copy. I will copy my old code, and it will definitely give a lot of errors because okay, so let's say, okay, let's just take the container list style, okay, list style. So we will remove all the list styles. Okay, we'll remove it. Settings. So we can move it. Okay. So we'll hide it now. I will show you later on how to use the images. We'll come back to it. Okay. Let's make it constant to show or remove the messages. Constant. Okay, let's try now. Now look at this. See, the menu is coming, right? Now it looks like a menu.
Yes.
But it still doesn't look good. It's too up, right? It's too up. It's coming
Yes,
here, right?
We need to use the safe area.
Yeah, so it's better to move it down, right? It should start from here. There should be something here like app icons, and then we should have the list from here. Okay, so also what you can do is you can put the drawer inside safe area. Okay, so it will avoid the notch. It will avoid the notch. Okay, you can see here it will avoid the notch. Okay, I will explain how I did it. but let's make
Okay.
it. Yes.
Could you please zoom in, please?
What? The code?
The font, yes.
Also, just you can zoom in the video shared on the in your tab. You can zoom in.
Like, zoom in what?
No, I'm telling you, my colleague. You can zoom in. You zoom in the screen, the shared
Oh.
screen. You can zoom in.
Okay.
Okay. So great. We are having a menu. So what we will try to do is the color doesn't look good. So what we did is actually the safe area we explained last class, right? Safe area will avoid these notches, and in the down there are like going home. So these areas he will skip and make sure nothing is hidden behind the phone notches or other things. Okay. Now we are sending a widget called drawer. So Flutter already made a widget called drawer. Okay. Now inside drawer, what we have given, look, inside the drawer, what we have given is we have given it a scroll bar. Like if you have many options and if your screen is small, then you need to have the scrolling option, scroll. So user can scroll down or scroll up. So to do that, there is a widget. Actually, there are several widgets. You can also use single child scroll view. Also, you can use scroll bar. There are certain small differences between them. So for this example, we are using scroll bar. This is another widget that will put his children or his child inside a scrolling bar. But here there is no scroll bar we can see because we have only two. But suppose I copy it many times. Okay. See here, now you can see the scroll bar appeared. You can see here, scroll bar. Now you can go up and down. Okay. So it's also very important to remember that whatever you are drawing on the screen, is there enough space to draw on the screen? If not, you have to put the content inside a scroll bar or a single child scroll view, so that if there is not enough space, Flutter will add a scroll bar so user can go up or go down. Like when you browse, for example, in Amazon or in an e-commerce website, it has a lot of content, so you can go down, 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 down. So for this case, the list will come inside a scroll bar, So let's remove them. Okay. So we are using drawer, which is a child of safe area, and the drawer is taking a scroll bar. Now, what is the scroll bar is doing? There are several properties of scroll bar, like thickness. Thickness is like when the scroll bar appeared here, how thick it will show. How thick? Okay, let's copy it again. So let's make the thickness say 10. You can see here the difference. You can see the difference. The scroll bar has become very thick. So it became very thick. So there is a property called, like, for example, this thumb, this scroll bar, should it always be visible, or when you drag it will be visible? There is a setting like this. So indicates that the scroll bar thumb should be visible even when a scroll is not underway. So like sometimes when you touch the screen and start scrolling, it will show the bar. Sometimes it will always show. Like here we said that always show, so people will know that there is some content down. But if you make it false, see, it's gone. But when you scroll, it will appear. Then it will again disappear. Do you understand the difference?
I don't get it. So.
Like see the scroll bar, this on the right side, the scroll bar. See?
Yes.
It disappears. It is shown only when you scroll. If you don't scroll, it will not show. But if I make this property thumb visibility as true, it will always show whether you scroll or not scroll. If there are scrollable items, it will always show. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now scroll bar has some other properties. For now it's we can skip it. Like there is a controller, like if there are more than one scroll bar in the same UI, then you need to give controller for, otherwise Flutter will give exceptions. But we can skip it for now. Now, who is the child of this scroll bar? The scroll bar is a scroll bar and it has a child. The child of the scroll bar is a container. This big container is the child of the scroll bar. So let's go into container. In the last class, we saw container has many properties, like the color, the boundary, the box, a decoration, and so on. So here we said that inside the scroll bar, we will show a container of these colors, but this color doesn't look good. So what we will do is, suppose we will remove it. We'll say color dot gray. Okay, and say make it 200 as color. Taking off. Okay. Now it looks good. So let's take a break now. Our salat has started. So we'll take around 10 to 12 minutes break, and inshallah we will be back.